She was very excited about a birthday party, which we had pre-planned for her, because 24th some of her friends were out of town. So she said, I'm going to have this on the 18th.
And today is her birthday.
And today is her birthday. I haven't got a moment to sit with her and even talk to her or even look at her picture in the last 8 days.
As the post-mortem reports of Aarushi and Hemraj became available, investigators found striking similarities between the two murders. Both Aarushi and Hemraj had suffered severe U or V-shaped head injuries caused by a blunt object before their throats were slit with a sharp-edged weapon. Their estimated time of death was around 1 a.m. Based on the size of the blood clot observed during the post-mortem, forensic experts believed Aarushi died within minutes of the head injury. The similar pattern of injuries led investigators to believe that both murders were likely committed by the same person. But fingerprints and other forensic evidence collected from both crime scenes did not lead investigators to any suspect, as both crime scenes had already been contaminated. As the days passed, the investigation failed to make any significant progress and began considering the possibility that the murders had been committed by someone inside the house. On May 23, 2008, just a week after the murders, the investigation took a dramatic turn. During a press conference, the Noida police publicly announced that Dr. Rajesh Talwar was the prime suspect.
यदि रात के समय आता, इसका मतलब कि बाहर से किसी ने भी forcible entry नहीं की.
They claimed the murders could have been the result of an honor killing, alleging that Rajesh had found Aarushi and Hemraj in an objectionable situation.
Objectionable हालत में, compromising position में ही थे, लेकिन उन्होंने ऐसी हालत में देखा उनको जिसमें उनको अच्छा नहीं लगा.
Personally, I find the reason they cited for an honor killing unconvincing. Aarushi was only 13 years old, and at that stage of the investigation, the police had not presented any conclusive evidence to support that allegation. However, the police said their suspicion was based on the following circumstances: no convincing evidence that an outsider had entered or left the apartment, no signs of forced entry into Aarushi's bedroom, which normally remained locked at night. The police believed the crime scene had been cleaned after the murders. The announcement shocked the country. Television channels and newspapers widely reported the police's theory, and public opinion quickly began turning against the Talwar family.
Any suspicion that your husband had killed Aarushi, would you cover up as a mother?
Would any mother do that? Would any mother sleep there through the night knowing that her husband has killed the child?
However, the police did not present any conclusive evidence to support these allegations. Their statements were heavily criticized, and many questioned whether the investigation had become driven by speculation instead of solid forensic evidence. As criticism continued to grow, the Uttar Pradesh government transferred the case to the Central Bureau of Investigation, CBI. As part of its fresh investigation, CBI officers re-examined the forensic reports, questioned witnesses again, and reviewed phone records, computer activity, and other evidence in an attempt to reconstruct the events of that night. But the mistakes made during the initial police investigation remained a major challenge. The CBI did not find conclusive proof to support the Noida police's honor-killing theory. Instead, investigators began exploring other possible leads and suspects.
Evidence against him so far, as revealed in the case diaries.
During the investigation, the CBI began focusing on Krishna Thadarai, a dental assistant who worked at Dr. Rajesh Talwar's clinic after inconsistencies emerged during questioning. He later underwent polygraph and narco-analysis tests, during which he allegedly named Raj Kumar and Vijay Mandal.
उस दिन मैं सीधे साधे मैं घर पे आया, अपने आकर घर पे आकर सो गई तो आधार अपने ऊपर ले तेरे को सजा कम कर दी
Acting on these leads, the CBI questioned both men and subjected them to similar tests. The CBI suspected that the three men were involved in the murders of Aarushi and Hemraj, and all three were arrested. But as the investigation progressed, investigators failed to find any conclusive forensic or physical evidence linking them to the crime. Since narco-analysis results are not considered reliable evidence on their own, the allegations could not be substantiated. All three were eventually released due to lack of evidence, and the investigation once again reached a dead end. As months passed without any breakthrough, the CBI assigned a new investigating team to re-examine the case from the beginning. After nearly 2.5 years of investigation, on December 29, 2010, the CBI submitted a closure report before a special court in Ghaziabad, stating that it did not have sufficient evidence to prosecute anyone. However, it identified Rajesh Talwar as the prime suspect and requested permission to close the case. The closure report relied on circumstances that had emerged during the initial investigation and also alleged that Rajesh had asked the police to stop searching the apartment and instead focus on finding Hemraj, even offering to cover the cost of a search in Nepal. Investigators viewed this as suspicious. The Talwars claimed they had slept through the night, despite Aarushi's bedroom being only about 7 to 8 feet from theirs. The family had been unusually quick to cremate Aarushi's body and clean parts of the apartment on May 16th. According to forensic experts, the dimensions of the striking face of one of Rajesh Talwar's golf clubs matched the URV-shaped head injuries found on both victims. Aarushi's school bag, soft toys, the book The 3 Mistakes of My Life, which she was believed to have been reading before the murder, had no bloodstains, despite being within the apparent blood spatter area, suggesting the crime scene may have been altered after the murders, something that would have been difficult for an outsider to do. On February 9, 2011, the special CBI court rejected the closure report and summoned Dr. Rajesh Talwar and Dr. Nupur Talwar to stand trial for the murders of Aarushi Talwar and Hemraj Banjade. The trial began in 2012 before a special CBI court in Ghaziabad. The prosecution built its case largely on circumstantial evidence. The defense strongly denied all the allegations, arguing that the case was based entirely on assumptions and circumstantial evidence, with no eyewitnesses, no confession, no murder weapon, and no direct forensic evidence linking the Talwars to the crime. After hearing both sides, the trial court relied on the chain of circumstantial evidence presented by the prosecution. On November 25, 2013, Rajesh and Nupur Talwar were found guilty of the murders. The following day, they were sentenced to life imprisonment. The Talwars challenged the verdict before the Allahabad High Court. After reviewing the case, the High Court ruled that the prosecution had failed to prove their guilt beyond reasonable doubt. On October 12, 2017, the Allahabad High Court acquitted Rajesh and Nupur Talwar of all charges. After spending nearly 4 years in prison, they were released a few days later. Even after years of investigation, 2 separate CBI probes, and a protracted court battle, what exactly happened inside the Talwars' apartment on the night of May 15, 2008 remains unknown. Over the years, several theories have been put forward. Some supported the honor-killing theory, believing Aarushi's parents were responsible.
The 2 CBI teams and the UP police ruled out was any outsider coming into that house and committing these murders. So there were no outsiders involved.
Others claimed that Hemraj may have killed Aarushi before being killed himself, while another theory suggested that an outsider was responsible for both murders. However, none of these theories has ever been conclusively proven. The murder of a 13-year-old girl inside the very home where she should have been the safest is heartbreaking.
Every Father's Day card she made for him has been preserved.
More than that, the fact that years have passed without anyone being held responsible for the deaths of both Aarushi Talwar and Hemraj Banjade continues to make this one of India's most controversial and debated criminal mysteries. What do you think might have happened that night? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this video informative, Don't forget to subscribe to AM Crime Files for more true crime documentaries. Thanks for watching.